Second show here on a Wednesday, starting off with this question. Are you on Facebook? If you're like a normal person, I guess. 87% of Americans are on Facebook on a daily basis, something crazy like that. Go ahead and follow this show on Facebook. 66,000 followers, subscribers, likes. I don't know how they count them anymore at Facebook. It's facebook.com/HarbaughGoBlue. I'm going to put it down in the first paragraph of today's description. Also, we'll reply to the pinned comment itself, a link to the channel. We put a lot of content on there that's not on YouTube, not always videos, but just information on the team. So go ahead and give us a follow. It's facebook.com/HarbaughGoBlue. I am going to dive into some really intriguing questions heading into this Wisconsin-Michigan game on Saturday. High noon from Madison. Coming up all on the show right now. And today's show is presented by BetQL. What's BetQL, James? It is a gambling analytics statistical, aggregator and advice service. It shows you basically what they think based on all the data from years past in this season, who is going to win games. They rank games 5 stars down to 1 star. Keep with us. I'm going to give you away a couple 5-star bets, one in college, one in pro. But get going with them, chatsports.com/MichiganQL. Promo code ChatMichigan for 25% off. All right, today's show, we're going to talk some burning questions and some insight we've got from some sources in the program, hearing what Jim Harbaugh thinks. Talk a little about the gambling lines, how they're thinking about this game too. Can Michigan pass the ball? It is the biggest question that this game will come down to. We'll dive into some numbers. The running game. Is it real or is it all smoke and mirrors? Okay, we'll have to find out. Wisconsin, #1 rushing defense in America. And then injuries. What do we know about injuries? I've speculated Cade McNamara didn't look good. I'm not sure if he's injured, but he certainly looked like his bell rung wasn't the same after that shot to the face, that targeting call. Josh Ross, we will talk more about that. But I'm just trying to take a pulse of the crowd here. Will Michigan beat Wisconsin? Light up the comments, Y or N. I think they will, okay? Jim Harbaugh seems like he's got his mind right after kind of a confusing 2020. I didn't think he was absolutely focused on coaching. Type Y for yes, type N for no. But I do actually think that the total points between both teams in this game could be less than 25 points between the two of them. So let me know Y or N down in the comments. Burning question number 1. Can Michigan pass for 250 yards? Why do I say the 250 yards? I think that is actually what it's going to take to get this game done and to get the win, because I don't think Michigan can rush much against Wisconsin based on what I've seen from their defense, which we'll talk about here in a second. This shocked me, okay? 15th in the Big Ten in passing attempts is Cade McNamara. Why is that number interesting? There's only 14 teams in the Big Ten, folks. It's not like Cade McNamara is sat out and J.J. McCarthy's came in and threw a bunch of passes. McCarthy's only thrown 12 passes this year. 15th in the Big Ten through 4 games in passing attempts. If you saw the show earlier today, you know Michigan has thrown the fewest amount of passes in the Power 5, 4th fewest in the country. So let's take a look at Cade McNamara's snap count, what he's doing when he's in there. So he's in for 37 snaps against Western Michigan, 70 against Washington, 34 against Northern Illinois, and then 55 against Rutgers. 37 snaps, only 12 pass attempts and snaps he was in there in the opener. I've got the percentage here, 32% of the time there. All right, next one, Washington, 21% of the time. Now, Michigan was rushing well in those games. Great. Okay, cool. I get it. 34 snaps against Northern Illinois, 35% of the time they pass, and then 55 snaps, okay, 30.9, 31% of the time they pass the ball in the last game against Rutgers. In a game where they needed Cade McNamara to pass the ball because they couldn't do anything rushing. This wasn't a 300-yard rushing attack. This was a 112-yard rushing attack. But that is the numbers we're dealing with these two players, with Michigan's quarterback, Cade McNamara. And between these two players on the screen, I think Michigan needs to outpass Graham Mertz, who, frankly, I don't know if any player in college football history has had more, got more credit for one game like he did in their opener last year, where he was like 26 of 28 for 5 touchdowns and has done nothing since. Then Graham Mertz, 4 fumbles, 2 pick six, or 4 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, and a lost fumble among 2 fumbles against Notre Dame this past Saturday. Who will have more passing yards, Cade McNamara or Graham Mertz in this game? Type CM for Cade, type GM for Graham Mertz. And then I told you we're presented by BetQL. I want to make sure you guys knew about the offer. I've said it about a couple times on the show. I know dozens at least of you guys have taken advantage of it, but some of you haven't. Maybe you don't think it was a real offer expiring. It's still going on. BetMGM and BetQL, our partner, have worked together. If you go to that website at the bottom of the screen, chatsports.com/MichiganMGM, in the state of Michigan, go there, you get an account with BetMGM, you put in $10, just $10. You make your first $10 bet, and you will get a year free of BetQL's betting advice service. I'm going to give you out a 5-star NFL and college football. There's quite a few. Usually don't have 5-star bets this early in the week for college. Northwestern plus 11.5 at Nebraska. 5-star bet. They've got another one in the Big Ten. Ohio State Rutgers is a 5-star bet. I can't give that one away, though. So if you want to know that one, I love the 5-star bet that they've got for that game, for Rutgers versus Ohio State. And then in the NFL, no 5 stars on the spreads yet. I'm guessing they will later in the week. And actually, frankly, there's no 5 stars on the over and unders yet. So I'll give you a money line 5-star. No 5 stars. There's a 4-star money line. Kansas City Chiefs minus 330 at the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the best money line 4-star for that one. So giving you what the beak a little bit. Go get going with BetMGM. Win some money this week with BetQL, giving you the picks on what games to go with. All right, number 2, can Michigan run on Wisconsin's number 1 rush defense? This defense, folks, is impressive. I think the defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard, is one of the best in the business. Let's take a look. 3 games for Wisconsin so far. 2 of them at home, Penn State, Eastern Michigan, and then 1 in Chicago in a neutral site game. Penn State rushed 18 times, got 50 yards on them in the opener. That's a loss, though. Eastern Michigan, 18 rushes, 16 yards. And how about this one? They got beat pretty bad by Notre Dame. It looked worse. The score was much worse than the game was. It was a 13-10 game into the fourth quarter. Wisconsin was winning. Notre Dame had a couple pick sixes in the fourth quarter, all that different stuff. Notre Dame rushed the ball 32 times. They only got 9 yards rushing. So Michigan is going to have to pass the ball to win this game. There's no doubt in my mind about this. And frankly, for Jim Harbaugh, it's payback time, okay? It is payback time for Jim Harbaugh because he has gotten embarrassed the last 2 times he went up to Madison, 2017 and 2019. And he got embarrassed at home last year. The worst halftime deficit in Michigan Stadium history was Wisconsin with this same quarterback, this same coaching staff came into Michigan Stadium, a completely dejected Michigan team, and made them look like fools last year. It is payback time for Jim Harbaugh. You got to put in a passing attack that can beat Wisconsin because I don't think you can do it rushing. And you need to make sure Graham Mertz doesn't let you up like he let a bunch of scrub quarterbacks do in 2020. Burning question number 3 is Josh Ross. Is he going to play? It's really weird what I saw on the field. Josh Ross being in the game on Saturday against Rutgers versus him not in the game in the second half, it looked like 2 different defenses. Take a look at the stat really quick. 29 tackles in the year, 3.5 tackles for loss, 5 quarterback hurries, no sacks on the year. Now, he's been around for a long time. I think it was his 5th year at Michigan. Let me double check. Yeah, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 5th year at Michigan. Still got another year of eligibility left in front of him. But him going to play is one of these burning questions because it seemed like the defense was 2 different groups with or without him. Some interesting things to say about Cam McGrone here. Jim Harbaugh said it was probable, but do you remember 2 years ago? He was hurt in the Wisconsin game. And he could have came back later in the year, but he was benched in all reality because of what happened after that. Cam McGrone came in the game, okay? Cam McGrone came in the game after Josh Ross got hurt against Wisconsin, and Ross could have came back 2 or 3 games later. What did Michigan decide to do? They felt so, indifferent about his play so far that year in 2019 through 3 games that they decided to redshirt him as a third-year player, as a starting linebacker. Didn't play him the rest of the year even though he was healthy. He played in the bowl game against Alabama. So all of a sudden, the defense is dependent on one guy. I don't understand it. The defense definitely should not be dependent on one guy. Gosh, I wish Cam McGrone was actually, I was just looking, I'm like, gosh, I can't believe McGrone left after 3 years. I thought he was not going to get drafted. He was drafted in the 5th round by the Patriots. I haven't really checked what he's done this year so far, but if you remember, 2 years ago, Michigan lost Josh Ross, and they felt so little of his play that year, at least the staff at the time did, that they decided, we don't even need you the rest of the year. Your backup, a redshirt freshman at the time, Cam McGrone, we're just going to go with him. You can redshirt, keep your eligibility for the future for another game. So that is what I think. I think Ross being not in the game if he doesn't play shouldn't be impact that much, but apparently it does, and Michigan's defense should not rely that much on one guy. But answer this question, be real with me. Who is the most valuable player on Michigan's defense? Okay, I think there's quite a few candidates right now, but it probably all comes down to 2 guys, Daxton Hill and Aiden Hutchinson. And from what we've seen so far this year, Aiden Hutchinson, in my opinion, is by far and away the most valuable defensive player. I saw CBS Sports, I'm not sure if they're very good at this or not, mock draft from last week had Aiden Hutchinson going number 2 overall. I don't think there's any chance that happens. That'd be awesome. But that's the kind of performance he's had so far this year in 2021. One more time from BetQL. Since I told you I'd give you 2 5-star bets, I'll give you a second one so you can go put down $10 at BetMGM, chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. It will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. Flip over back to college, give you a second college football 5-star bet on this one. Let's dive in. Let's give you the Ohio State one, okay? Ohio State, they're only 15-point favorites on the road at Rutgers. That's a 5-star bet to take the Buckeyes. BetMGM, chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. Put $10 in, make a $10 bet in Ohio State. You got BetQL free, $180 value, free for 1 year, and you just won $10 because Ohio State surely will beat Rutgers by more than 15. Why is Jim Harbaugh so bad on the road is our number 4 burning question heading into this one. Michigan's first road game in the year after 4 straight at home. Harbaugh's been outscored in his 2 times to Madison, 59-24, and that's being nice because if you guys remember, I think it was 35-7 was the halftime score 2 years ago when Michigan went up there. They struggled. They did okay against Middle Tennessee State, went to overtime against Army. Remember that game? Michigan won it, and then went into Madison, and Wisconsin smacked them around like I've never seen anyone smack around a Michigan team in my life. That game wasn't even close. Wisconsin could have scored 70 if they wanted to. They just pulled it back, didn't really do anything after halftime. Here's Jim Harbaugh's results on the road against what I think the biggest 5 opponents he will face on a consistent basis. 0-2 at Ohio State, 1-2 at Penn State. But remember, that first one was 2015, his first year. And since then, he's gotten embarrassed. Well, he's down by 3 touchdowns at halftime in 2019. They made it a game. Ronnie Bell dropped that ball. 2017, Michigan was absolutely embarrassed. 0-2 at Wisconsin. Valiant effort in 2017 with Brandon Peters in for injury, and then got killed in 2019. 0-1 Notre Dame, just that 2018 opener. But surprisingly, Michigan's played Michigan State 6 times in Jim Harbaugh's career. 4 at home. They're 1-3, but somehow are 2-0 on the road in East Lansing, 2016 and 2018. So Jim Harbaugh, I've got this advice for you. Just pretend you're at home, dude, okay? Look, it's clear, to me at least, you're pretending that you're a coach of a new football program because everything's changed about your coaching staff. Seems to be your approach, your appearance, the way you're treating the media actually has changed. So you got a little bit reality distortion field going on. Just pretend you're at home. Whatever that means to you, pretend you're at home. Rent it. Don't even stay at a hotel. If you normally stay at a house, stay at a house up there. If you wear a certain pair of shoes at home versus away, wear the home shoes. Pretend you're at home. Run out like you're running and fake touch a banner if you have to. Whatever it takes in your mind, Jim, to think you're at home, you've got to do because there's some mental block when you go on the road, and I think clearly, just pretend you're at home and you will win this game. That's all for today's show. Check back with us tomorrow. We're going to film around noon Eastern or so the video will probably be out between 2 and 3 Eastern tomorrow afternoon on Thursday. If we hit 20 subscribers by, I guess, the time this video is going out, right? 5 o'clock today is what we said. We will have 50 shots of beer on the table with a camera overhead, and I will just be taking shots about every 10 seconds to come through. A lot of you guys thought that was funny, and we're going to do it tomorrow on Thursday if we can get 20 more subscribers to get 50 from the time we filmed on Tuesday. All right, we'll see you guys Thursday. Go Blue.